Can you see chat at all, Neil?
Yeah, I think so. The last comment.
That's good.
I can see him.
Now we've the all buggered off to look.
It takes a minute to update.
Oh yeah, forget. Evening, Elizabeth. Is Elizabeth in?
See, notifications just come through now.
Yeah. Do you know this too? Do you know this waiting for him to come on? I always said to John, we'll be sat here talking to ourselves.
Well, we just start. If there's no one watching,
you just dear. We normally get a minute.
They're here.
They come in. So we've got Leah, Lisa, Amy, Diana.
Come on, everybody.
Come
say
on,
hello
start saying hello.
On Facebook or YouTube, we're streaming on both.
See,
tonight.
what happens with us, Neil, is if we start before everybody comes in, we then have to go way back to the beginning so everybody can catch up.
Yeah.
Hiya, Penny. Hiya, Claire.
Shell, good evening. Evening. I'm going to introduce Neil now as you're coming in. So everybody, please say hello to Neil, and we will explain who Neil is. I mean, you could tell him the title. Sorry. There you go. This is your learning curve, Olivina. I hope I pronounced that lady's name. Olvina. I do apologise. I'm going to call you Ollie. Ollie, that's better for me. Evening, DQ.
Hope you're well, mate.
Hope everybody's well this evening. Diana, hello. Lisa, my lovely. Thank you all for joining. So we will start. I'm sure as everybody comes in, questions will be answered. And you lovely lot in chat can fill them in what they've missed out for being late on starting.
Yeah.
So I'll let you introduce John because I get tongue-tied.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Neil.
I'll set name if you want.
No. Neil, would you like to introduce yourself, my lovely?
Yeah, of course. I'm Neil Packer and I'm the owner of the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley.
Which we have just joined.
Yeah.
You've just joined today, yeah.
We have just joined today, yes.
Unfortunately, it's fairly quiet on the membership side of it at the minute because
always is, yeah.
I can't do anything at the centre because we are on total lockdown at the minute.
No, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. We have been waiting. Bill's probably told you. We talked to him before. And we kept saying we're gonna,
and then time just goes, and you're like, oh, we've not, and then
you get on with something else, and that's this massive. We have to do it. I'm gonna have to do it today.
Evening, Lee Scotty. Leah Scotty back in a minute.
No worries,
right. So Neil is going to tell you all a little bit about himself, how Neil got into the paranormal, how he started the research centre, how the
I already know a bit of this.
I know you do. How you started the Haunted Museum, about some of the objects, and anything else you want to mention that you're doing already, that people can keep a look out for what's coming up in the future. So, and then when Neil's finished, then we'll take questions for Neil, because if I start taking questions beforehand, I'm going to get Neil tongue-tied and twisted just as bad as me. So just bear with. So take it away, Neil, my lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I've always been interested in the paranormal. Obviously, it originally started with the TV, obviously, with the program, which we won't mention now.
Yeah.
The one that shall not be named.
It's gone down a bit.
Yeah.
But I used to co-own a venue group in Leicestershire. So we used to take guests to haunted locations.
Yeah.
But I quickly decided that wasn't what I wanted to do. I didn't want to babysit a load of guests. Some weren't interested in what we're doing anyway, so that used to do me head in, to be honest.
It's hard work, isn't it, when you've got people coming in and some are interested, some aren't.
It's also difficult to concentrate yourself on like investigating or researching into it while you're trying to keep a group of guests.
Yeah, well, I think the venue side is more entertainment. They want the TV shows, don't they?
Yeah, and it's not.
All investigators know paranormal investigations aren't the TV shows, because you can sit for 4 hours and bored out your brain and get absolutely nothing.
And nothing at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we've been there.
Yeah. So quickly decided that's not what I wanted to do. So we changed from a venue group to an investigation group. But even then, I weren't getting what I wanted to do. I wanted to do more research. So I left them, and then I thought of different ways to carry on with my interest in the paranormal, and I thought about haunted objects.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people really poo-poo the possibility.
See, we don't. But
for me, it's more of an attachment
than a haunting. If that makes,
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know if you agree with that, Neil, or whether you've experienced different things to that. But
there's all the whole range of different things. Some of my items, the spirit is the actual item, which is a bit weird. We've got other items that the spirit owned in their life, so they didn't want to leave it. We've got other items that the spirits can't leave because they're sort of bound to it. So in the sense, we've got the whole range of different items.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do haunted objects, and I didn't want to do the normal stuff like the haunted dolls, because so many people
they do
have got haunted doll collections.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a doll collection, but they're not haunted. They're just replicas of dolls.
So I thought I wanted to do something that people cherished, so items. So I thought antiques, because antiques people did cherish, and they loved them.
Yeah.
So I sent an email to about 20 local antique dealers. Only one replied.
Wow.
Which is good. Can I say who that is?
Yeah, by all means.
So Phil Sims from Sims Vintage Antique Centre near Stratford, he replied. I went to meet Phil and told him my ideas. And he says, yeah, come one evening to his centre and see what we could pick up on, which we did. And we had a fantastic night.
Wow.
Phil is now a sponsor to the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre. So we work together. And Phil and Terry are now good friends of ours. So it worked out well.
Friendship come off it, yeah.
Yes, I'm glad only one replied, because if I had to choose, I might have chosen the wrong one.
You could have, you could have chosen. So it happened it happens for a reason. And
definitely.
Definitely. Yeah.
So that's what we did. We did 2 investigations of the Antique Centre at Sims. We had fantastic nights. Those 2 videos are actually still on YouTube, so people can find them.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to start my own collection. So I started buying antiques, but not antiques that were supposedly haunted to start off with. I'm a firm believer we got spirit guides, and I believe my spirit guide was guiding me to different items.
Yeah.
In my collection. So that's how it started. It started off in my carport, and that's where we started our live feeds from.
Yeah.
But I was finding so many people, so many teens were asking me if they can come and see the items. I thought, well, I better be a bit more professional now.
Yeah.
So I looked for a building, a premises. I wanted it in Hinckley because that's where I lived.
Yeah.
And I found the building I've got now. We started off in the top floor. In February just gone, I took the lease on the whole building, so we've expanded, and we've been open just over 2 years.
Wow.
That's amazing.
The collections continues to build. We must have well over 200 items now.
Do you have any history with it? Do you look into if there's history to be found in the items? Do you do the research on some of the history, or is it difficult unless somebody's brought you something
that they know about?
If we can get the history, we start with that. I'm finding a lot of people send me items now, so that's good, because they'll tell me what they've experienced.
Yeah.
So that's where Jane is my medium at the centre. So that's where Jane and I start. We start with what they've said, and we progress from there.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
Fortunately, the good thing is the building's haunted anyway.
That's good.
Really? Wow, that's even better.
So it's not just the items that I take into the centre; it's the building as well. And
what did the building used to be?
Well, the Regent Street is one of the oldest streets of the town. So the street dates back from the 1300s.
Yeah.
The oldest picture I've got of the actual building that stands there now is 1890.
Wow.
It's been lots of different things. It's been flats. It's been shoemakers. It's been used a whole range of.
Yeah.
No, the last people were solicitors, and we have a solicitor there, a spirit solicitor who comes in.
That's wow. Yeah, because again, if that the link to the place,
still taking any cases.
He's taking spiritual cases. But no, but I mean, even for something like that, though, for me, for a solicitor to actually come back in spirit to a place where he worked, it's that connection that he's had in that place that brings them back. Are these ones, do they visit regularly, or do they just come and go as they please, or are they, do you have residual energies?
Again, you see, we got the regulars. Obviously, we have the regulars connected to the items.
Yeah.
And they tend to stay there. They go off. They got free will. They go off, but they always come back to the items.
Yeah.
We've got the regular spirits in the centre, but then quite often we'll get spirits just coming in, because the way Jane described it, it's like there's a beacon coming out, a bit like Ghostbusters, and there's a beacon coming out of our roof, and nowhere else is like it in the town. So they'll come to us. So they'll come and just communicate.
Yeah. Evening, Wild Bill. He's on Facebook because he can't comment on YouTube.
He says hello, boss.
He says hello, boss. But yeah, it's how do I get that one off? Oh, it's gone. So can people come when you open back up? Is it open for public to come and visit? Is it like, can they come in and like have buy tickets and go around on their own? Is it group bookings that you do? Can paranormal teams get in touch to investigate? How does it all work?
Okay, the centre is open to the general public every Saturday and Monday, 10 till 4. If they come in and they want to do a tour, we'll do a tour and explain some of the objects and some of the experiences we've had. It's free to come in, and we'll give you a cup of tea and coffee. Again, it's free. Everything's free. If you want to leave a donation, we will
donation. Always leave a donation. If anywhere's free, leave a donation.
People have often said this to me. It is a business, and I do have rent and I do have bills to pay, so I do have to have an income. I know some people say you shouldn't make money out of the paranormal, but this is our business.
See, there's a big difference though from what me and John do to what you do, Neil. You've actually got premises that you need to fund for the bills, for the upkeep of the building, for the objects that you're bringing into the building if you have to buy them. For people like me and John, we just go to places to investigate. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a cost to that, to do that.
To some of them, not always.
To some places there is a cost. But that's because we're interested in the paranormal that we'd go. But this isn't for us, like, we haven't got the outgoings that you've got where you need to have to recoup. So there is a big difference in where paranormal turns paranormal business, if you know what I mean. And that's what people do need to understand, that when it's run as a business side, the cost have got to come, the coverage has got to come.
Well, I feel we provide a service. The general public Saturdays and Mondays, but we also allow paranormal teams in on Friday nights and Saturday nights to investigate.
Wow.
Whether it's they stay there till 2 or some actually stay all night. They come and they book it, and that's working out really well. Actually, before the lockdown, before the COVID-19 started, every Saturday was fully booked for the whole of this year.
Wow.
I think I had about 4 or 5 Fridays free. I don't want to do it too much because I think it's no good for the building. Doing it too much.
The thing is, as well, I think, like you say, when teams come in, I mean, to me, it always reflects to me on the teams. I mean, I can't. Can I say that? Because some I find are very disrespectful, and some I find are very respectful. Do you know what I mean, Neil? And I think for me, if you've got teams coming in, say you did it every night, and you've got teams coming in, I think if I was the energy myself, I think I'd want to poke their eyeballs out, because I'd think, just leave me, just give me one night's peace. Do you know? So I think by doing what you're doing, the Friday and Saturday night are the main nights anyway. People can get out because they've got work, they work their own jobs to do through the week. Kids go to Nanans on a weekend, so if anybody wants to, do you know, it's,
I'm going to put one question up. I know we're not got to questions, but I know Olivina lives near you. And she wants to come. Is it disability access?
There are steps. The tea room is actually on the first floor, so there is 2 flights of steps. So depends.
So if you can get up, if you can, you've got to be mobile enough to get up the steps.
You get one flight of stairs to get into the tea room. You can have a cup of tea, and then the main room is up another flight. The main rooms are up another flight of stairs. So we do have people with disabilities come up, and they just have a stop in the tea room. They do one flight first, then have a cup of tea, and then they're ready for the next lot. And and they're fine then.
That's good. That's good.
I don't know if that helps you, Olivina.
I would like to say though that the paranormal does get a bad reputation for sort of bitchiness.
Very much so.
Especially on Facebook. However, all the teams that I've met over the 2 years have been fantastic, apart from 2.
Yeah.
So I've only banned 2 teams out of 2 years. One because they were just stupid and being disrespectful to me, my team, my building, my objects, and I'm not having that. So they were kicked out straight away. And the other one because they were just charging ridiculous amount of money to bring guests in, and
to bring. Do you know that to me is what grates on me sometimes, because we've phoned certain locations up to go and investigate, and we found out the prices. I mean, I can say it because Ashbourne, isn't they?
Yeah.
We've got Ashbourne that we're gonna do, that we've booked to do, but we can't actually do with this.
We're supposed to be doing it in May, but
and they charge 160.
150.
Is it either 150 or 160? They charge.
Yeah.
But even if you're going in with another team, even if you're bringing more people in, that is their set price. But some people charge £30-40 a ticket, and they're taking like 4, because you can have up to like 25 people in that. And I just think to myself, well, if you're taking that, because what they do is, I'm going to say they might do, because you pay so much, and then the rest you pay is like a cash. So some will go through and some will go back into the upkeep like a donate. They'll put it through the books as a donation type thing, which, do you know, fair good on them. But like you said, it's these that take advantage or charge people to go to a free location. Yeah. That I can't get over.
We've seen that a few times.
I can't get over that.
And then they'll say it's because they're taking our time and using our equipment.
Well, then don't take people. Do you know, if they're going to come on investigations with you? I mean, we take people on investigations with us from out at chat and everything, don't we? Yeah. And we meet up, and they're welcome to come and join us, because for us, for them to experience it same as us, it's.
I mean, I will say we did book Ashbourne Town Hall, and we have charged. We haven't made any money, but the money we've charged actually slightly over what we paid, but that's because we're supplying refreshments, and we also had the liability insurance.
I mean,
that's not cheap, that you've got to pay out for yourself anyway. So do you know what I mean? So it doesn't even really cover our costs.
No, but it covers enough for everybody to go and enjoy. So on yours then, Neil, if we're coming to you, I'm gonna book in now before everybody else can book in after this lockdown comes. I'm gonna be like, Neil, book me in, Neil, book me in, Neil, book me in. But yeah, so if we come to yours, I think it would on the first investigation, I would only probably do myself, John, Simon, possibly a couple of others. Because for us on first time, we like to come in and
Scope
too
it
many
out.
people can cause what is contamination.
Yeah.
So we like to come in first, and then what we do then is we rebook and bring people in to experience the experience after, do you know? Because I think it's it's just amazing. I just love this paranormal world. But as for the bitchiness goes on YouTube, you have got that on, I think, on every platform you go into. Even on YouTube. I mean, honestly, Neil, on YouTube, some it's like kids in a playground.
That's right.
And it's just silly.
But I think a lot of that is more the groups that are entertainment rather than the paranormal researchers.
Yeah, because there's a big see, again, you've got such a wide range in the paranormal field. You've got the investigators, you've got the researchers who do the research like yourself. You've got people that run the businesses, and you know, so you've got different levels on each.
You've got people who are just on it for social media to.
But what I do find though, Neil, is, and I know nobody's a big team and nobody's a little team. We all start from beginning, and we all put in the hard work, and we all go on our own journey. So to me, it's not about the size of the teams or anything, but what we have found
not about the size of the team, it's how you use
it. What we've found though is the smaller teams, as I'm going to call them, and I don't really like that word, but the smaller teams tend to all get on because you're not fighting over anything. We're fighting over, we want that evidence you've just caught. Where have you just caught it? Yeah, come on, we'll show you where it is. You know, so there's no majorly competition going off between the little teams. That I do think that with some of the bigger teams, we're bigger than you, you're bigger than, do you know what I mean? And then it's like that cattiness comes into it.
I did one of the guys I was watching the other night, John. He did say paranormal's brilliant, but it starts to become more, not bitchy, but it starts to become more
I don't know
us and them when it's more about money rather than about research.
Yeah.
When it gets to being about money, then that's when I think people start getting
money does cause a lot of problems, and so does ego.
Ego's
quite a few people have got a big ego.
They have.
But I'm lucky doing what we do, because we just keep ourselves to ourselves.
How many have you got in your group, in your team? Do you class yourself as a team, Neil, or are you?
Well, it's basically me and Jane that are the team as such. However, we have an extended team. We got, it's a community. We all get on. You know, we've got a group of ladies, and they've made their own chat. We call them the Hags.
I've heard Bill refer to them. Don't
ask why they're the Hags, but they come up every Saturday, and they're just hilarious. They love the place. Everyone in the community, because I've got different Facebook pages and groups, because I think that worked out easier for me.
If you can reel them all off. I mean, I know we're going to share some links for some, but if you want to reel all the groups, you do.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay then. We've got the main Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre page, which is, we've got just over 14,000 followers. However, Facebook does annoy me, because when you do a post, they don't all see it. I don't understand that, but that's it. Then we've got the H.A.P.R.C community, which was a closed. It is a closed group, so I can control that a bit more, because we do live feeds, and I used to do all the live feeds on the main page, but one night in particular, we're doing a live séance, and we got these trolls on, and they've been so rude to some of my guests. I said, that's it. So I stopped it. I have since gone back onto it, but So we've got the community page, and it's just a bunch of friends, really. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then we've got, of course, we've got the H.A.P.R.C members network, because we've got a membership scheme.
Yeah. Please explain to everybody about the members, how it works, the membership, and everything else. And
Yeah, the membership is to become a member, it's £25 for life. I've seen some groups charge £5 a month or something, but this is £25 a life, and you've just become members, haven't you?
Yes, we have.
It's £25 for life, but you get lots of discounts. You get discounts from paranormal teams, like Ghost Hunter Tours. They give you 10% discount on their events.
Yeah.
There's other teams. You get 10% discount off the items that we sell at the centre, because we stock antiques for sale as well now.
Wow.
And we also stock other stuff in the centre. At Sims Vintage Antiques Centre, you get 10% off antiques at that shop.
Yeah.
So, for example, you go in to Phil's and buy something for 200 quid, you get 10% knocked off straight away because you're a member.
Yeah. That's brilliant, that.
And also, when teams are investigating, we stream the CCTV cameras live onto the members page as well. So you'll be able to see that as a member.
That's good.
I did originally try and stream it 24/7, but YouTube's a pain in the backside. Every now and again, they'd stop it.
Yeah.
Then, of course,
the
computer couldn't find it again. So it's a pain in the backside. So I decided only when teams are investigating, because I'm there anyway. So I'll just stream it onto the Facebook members page.
That's really good then. So, you know, when you've got teams, obviously you've got your cameras going. So if we were in one room and there was activity in another, is it like a split screen that people can watch different rooms, or do the cameras?
There's 7 cameras.
Wow. I know what I'm going to be doing after this. I'm going to be binge watching reruns from everybody going in.
Obviously, that's not happening in a minute.
No, I know, but people,
The members page is very quiet, and we also do some investigations, and we'll do some seances exclusive to members.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the members do get a good deal as well. Well, yeah, ask any members, and they'll say, yeah, it's really worth the money.
Yeah, it is. It is really worth the money.
Vonnie's a lifetime member. It's great, so much content.
There we go.
Yes, I know, Vonnie.
If your lady wants to come on, she can come and join us if she wants. It's up to you.
My lady.
Is it your lady who's just popped in to bring you a cup of tea?
Son,
is it your son? I thought it was Mrs. coming in to bring you a cup of tea.
No, Julie's chilling.
It's Julie chilling.
And then we also have another Facebook page called the H.A.P.R.C live feeds channel.
Yeah.
I think must be a team of over 10 presenters, and we all do different shows. Like me and Jane do a Monday night live discussion live. Tuesday night we'll do Haunted Connections, where we'll have a guest to talk to, a bit like you. And then there's another show going on now. Ness and Amy, they'll talk about the gadgets. And then we've got Serial Killers show. We've got Wild Bill does a show. The Rantings of a Madman.
I called it Old Man. He nearly shot my head off.
I mean, it's quite correct. He does rant, and he is a madman. So you know.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, it is.
And then we got Kelly, who looks after it. She's the live feeds channel manager. So because it was all getting too much for me controlling all these different groups. So Kelly looks after it. Then we got another show called Paranormal. The Confessions of the Paranormal Investigator.
Wow.
That's hilarious because people send in their funny stories.
Oh, I'm going to join. Is that a group that we can join, that one?
Yeah. Well, we started last week, and they're being streamed directly onto the main page as well now, because we've sort of we don't have many trolls now, which is good.
Yeah.
So I think this week we must have a show every night. I'm not sure, to be honest, because Kelly looks after it. I do apologise to all the presenters if I missed them out, but there's so many.
Yeah, you're all loved.
And again, you see, we got the presenters chat on Facebook, so we all keep in touch. We all help each other, which is the same as the hags. We had a hags chat this afternoon because we're obviously all missing each other from the centre.
Yeah.
And we just had a long chat this afternoon. So.
Yeah, one of the best. But you know, I mean, it's like doing these video calls and video calling with everybody else. Like you say, you're still getting that chat. That community spirit is still there within you. Do you know? And I just think it's great to catch up. Is there anything else you've got coming up in the future, Neil, that you want to discuss or mention? Or
yes, of course. Last weekend, Julie and I have started doing talking board sessions from home as well.
Oh, wow.
We did our first one last Saturday and it was amazing. I've never been a big fan on spirit boards and talking boards, I must admit. But after speaking to Karen Dolman a few weeks ago, fantastic lady, she sort of converted me.
Has she really?
Yeah, seriously, big time. And the information we were getting from our family last Saturday was amazing. So this Saturday, I'm going to do it slightly different. We're only inviting positive spirits in anyway, so nothing bad is going to be allowed in. So this Saturday we're going to try and get in some spirits from the centre.
That's going to be really interesting.
All this week we are sending out the thoughts to hopefully get Grandma Mary or some of the children down, or John, or some of the spirits, the positive spirits at the Haunted Antique Centre to come and talk to us on the talking board. It might not work, but we don't know. We don't know until we try it.
But that's the thing. And you know, even if it doesn't work that night, when you try it again, it's just it's shocking. Because what I think sometimes is, you know, when we use all different kind of gadgets. We use spirit boxes, we use the necrophonic app, the dead wave app. We use quite a few
trigger
apps.
Objects, REM pods,
trigger objects,
all sorts of
and we tend to find that if we start doing something new, we don't actually get that much community. It's as though they've got to like build the trust up, as we think. This is what my thinking, maybe not John, but I believe that they have to build that trust up, not only with us, but with the items that we're using also, because it's so I think sometimes when we do try things new and nothing happens, I think it's just never stop. Do you know what I mean? Always keep going back and just building it up, isn't it?
We did have one troll on Saturday night saying he was accusing one of us of pushing it.
Always.
I always tell the community, my community, just don't feed the idiot. Just ignore him, and he'll go away.
Do you know? This is. I mean, I've got to take my hats off to I call them family, to our family and our community, because the moderators that we've got are absolutely spot on. But what I do love is that if somebody comes in and is putting silly things or nasty things or comments, nobody jumps on them. They just leave it alone. They don't get involved in the drama. They don't get involved in argument. They just leave it because they know that
people will try and talk to them.
And
they'll come on, they'll say fake, and then you say, so somebody will put some, why do you think it's fake? And then they'll try and explain. There's been a few people that have come on like that, and people in chat have talked to them, and then they've actually started asking questions and got interested in it. Do you know what I mean? Because
I got no problems with people questioning what we're doing.
But it's asking it the right way.
The first word this guy says, that's a fake, blood of rubbish. And someone said, like you said, someone says, explain yourself, why it's fake. And they couldn't.
No, and then when they start coming back then with silly comments after or bad language, then it's like on it and gone. But totally agree.
I don't believe that we should prove ourselves. You know, our reputation is amazing in the field as far as I'm concerned. So both Jane and myself, Jane's the medium, she hasn't got to prove herself. So if Jane says if Jane says she's picking up on somebody, that's good enough for me. We will use the equipment to back what she is saying up.
Yeah.
Same as the talking board. Okay, the talking board, it is easy to fake. Pushing the glass, it's easy. But I don't need to prove. I don't need to prove we're not pushing it.
But I think for me also, I think there's also a trust, Bill. I mean, like everybody that's been with us from the beginning and joined us along the way know that we wouldn't lie to them. We would, if we were doing something, it's they'll see it as it's happening, like you said. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But they trust us enough to know that we wouldn't do anything, just like everybody that's watched you and built that relationship up, and even them coming in that are new, they then listen and see respect that you're getting from others that have been with you a while. And, do you know? And that's brilliant. But like you say, I don't believe anybody should have to prove themselves to anybody.
No,
because to me, it's self-choice. If they want to believe it, then believe it. If you don't believe it, but you've got an interest in it, stick with it, because you never know. You could go, but you could.
I think skeptics are brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Because I think, not so much because we question everything anyway, but some teams, skeptics can keep them grounded.
Yeah.
Because what I don't like in paranormal field is when a team goes out and everything they see has to be paranormal. Do you know what I mean? It's like they hear a rustle, that's paranormal, it's a demon.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it's probably a badger, or it could be a fox, or it could be anything. You know, let's look into it and try and get a response or something on something else to validate that one. You know. So I think a healthy dose of skepticism is quite useful.
Yeah.
So, and also something new that we're planning at the centre. Every last Saturday of the month has been a power meet where we invite teams to come in the daytime to meet each other. Because I've got thousands of friends on Facebook, all involved in the paranormal. I'd never met them until they started coming up, and people meet each other. Then they go out investigating together. It's been brilliant. So because this year is a bit of a disaster, isn't it?
It is.
Early next year, I am planning a big power meet 2021.
I'm already following. I think I've already ticked that we're coming. There
is a Facebook page. I'm in talks with the location. I can't say where it is. It's up to the management of that location to say yes now. I'm hoping April and May time we are going to be at this big power meet where all the credible teams, whether the venue groups, whether they make apps for the mobiles or make equipment, we can all get together at the weekend and get talking.
That'd be amazing.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. That is going to be good. Dawn thought I was below the radar today.
It's gone on Facebook, Wild Bill, but Scotty's on Facebook keeping an eye on Wild Bill.
We have to keep an eye on you, Bill. But yeah, no, that actually, I'm really looking forward to that para meet, because I think there's so many teams that like you may watch, or if you haven't got time to watch, you hear things about them, and it's like, oh my God, I'd love to work with them, or even meet them and just see whether because I think sometimes as well with teams, I don't think every team's going to be compatible to work with each other, because not everybody's nobody expects everybody to get on. So to me, it's like we were saying the other night, when we go and work with the teams, we have to build like that. We'll call for a cup of tea with you first and get to know you on a personal level. Because if your personalities clash, you can't really go out on an investigation and be stood there giving daggers to each other or sniping at each other. Which I'm not saying it has happened, but that's what I wouldn't want that uncomfortable feeling. So trust for us is such a big thing. So actually meeting people at this para meet gives us a chance.
You'll know straight away, won't you? If you could go and investigate people.
Yeah, you just know, don't you? You've got that.
And I don't think we will. Obviously, not all of us are going to agree on everything, because that's human nature. But just because someone doesn't agree with what I think, we can still be mates.
Exactly. You just,
it
is how it should be. Just
Good evening,
because
Tony.
Evening, Tony. I've got Tony from Ghost Whisperer. I don't know if you know Tony or not, or
No,
if you
I don't.
talk to
I haven't met
Tony
Tony.
Ferguson.
Tony's
Lovely
amazing.
bloke, amazing.
But yeah, it's but for like I saying, it's just. But I think when you meet somebody, and like you say, at that big para meet that we're sorting out, I think when we walk into the room and other people walk into the room, you'll instantly know you're drawn to anyway, just by characteristics and I think that's going to. I'm so looking forward. I hope we're on the list. I'm only messing. But yeah, I am so looking forward.
Everybody's on the list apart from a few.
Yeah.
I'm
dear.
not gonna mention
Each year
tonight.
you will love me.
That's Rose.
I know
by the
it's
way.
Rose. I can tell it's Rose because she's got the baboons bum in my face. Hi from Barnsley. Hope you're okay. We're good, Angie. Thank you. So Neil, what's been one of your most, when you've been either in the museum or out doing the research, what's been one of your most biggest wow moments for you, where you've thought, oh my God, have I just really seen this? Has this just happened? Or
Well, that's fairly easy actually. When I was a teenager, it's a bit of a story. When I was a teenager, I was out camping with my mates down the local playing field. Middle of the night, I went outside the tent and I saw a lady with long, dark, flowing hair, white flowing dress, sort of gliding from the back of the church towards the playing field, towards where I was.
wow.
Obviously,
Yeah.
scared the hell out of me. Didn't tell anybody. But I've since bought a book on the village where I was born, and she'd been seen lots of times.
Wow.
Okay, and the story was that she committed suicide. And a few months ago, in the churchyard at the village, there's the churchyard. Then just outside the churchyard, there's a small area with some graves. And my mum told me that was for suicides.
Wow.
Okay, and you'll be able to watch the live feed. So Jane and I did the live feed, and we went to find this lady the lady in white, we called it. So we went to try and find her, because if she's buried there, she'd be buried in that area. Okay, and we did find her.
Did
and
you really?
She was jilted at the altar on her wedding day. She was 18. She gave us the dates and all sorts. And it turns out that in a previous life of mine, I was her fiance. I jilted her at the altar. So that night, all them years ago, she knew my energy, so she was coming to me.
And that's what's drawn her towards you, is that energy.
Yeah, and she's all to me. So
that is amazing. That's amazing.
That is a live feed still on the members page, which you'll be able to find somewhere.
Yeah. Definitely.
Somewhere.
Everybody needs to go and look for that one. But that has got to be a wow factor, especially because then if you've done the life regression, and that's an energy you connected to, that's just bizarre. That's just I think also it's validation, because for you to see something like that at the age you did, and then get the validation later on, or whenever you went for the regression, and for it to come up then, that is just such
another strange thing about the live feed is Jane and I planned to go for a few weeks before we actually did, but something always came up.
Yeah.
And during the live feed, I said, have we come for this night in particular? And it turns out that night was her birthday.
Wow.
So there was a reason we went on that night.
Yeah.
That'll always stick in my mind. And of course, she's got an old chapter in my upcoming book, which I'm writing.
Yes. Neil is writing a book. So,
have you any idea when it's going to be released yet, your book? Or are you still actually in process of writing?
It'll be out for Christmas.
Be out for Christmas.
So we're going to have his Christmas list.
Yeah. So when that comes out, we will be sharing the link all over, and definitely getting it ourselves, that Neil, because that's going to be a fantastic read. So could you give us a quick, what's happening? Obviously, I know you can't tell us too much about the book, but could you give like a little clip it so people know what it's about?
Basically, the book is about a little bit about my history, where I was born and my experience with this spirit lady, and going through to when I used to watch the TV programs, and going through to my venue days, and then it's just how Haunted Antiques.
So it's basically how it all started.
And it's going to end about now. The last chapter is about my talking board session last Saturday, because we got something really big happening November time, which I can't say. So we've got something really big happening in November.
Let's keep an eye out.
Hopefully, depends when this COVID-19 disappears. So hopefully we've got something really big in November. Then we've got the Para Meet, perhaps April, May time next year.
Yeah.
But we're also, Jane and I are also thinking about the second book as well, because all the spirits that Jane's picked up on at the centre, she's drawn, and she's made all the notes. So I'm trying to persuade Jane into her.
Jane, if you can hear me.
I'm hoping that's going to be book 2.
Yes, that'd be an amazing book. Tell Jane she's got to do it. There's no if, buts, or maybes. Jane, if you're listening or watch back, you have got to do that book, because that is going to be a great follow-up and it's so relevant to you both.
And it's really nice when teams come in and say, and the medium says, or picked up on this man, described him. Jane can open a book and say, did he look like that? And I say, yeah, that's him.
Yeah. So and again, it's that extra validation, not just for Jane, not just for you, not just for the other medium, because obviously they know what they're talking about, but it's great validation then for other people that have seen Jane's work, and then to say, oh my God, that person's recognized that. So that's absolutely fantastic. I look forward to both them books when they come out.
Yeah.
Do you want to get a few questions in, Neil? Are you ready for any questions, or do you want to? Yeah.
No, far away.
Right, so evening to everybody that's joined us. Sorry, I've not mentioned you all by name, so a quick hi. Any questions that you've got to ask Neil? Ask him anything at all. If he won't answer, he'll just say, nope, not going there. But he's happy to answer any questions you've got. So please pop them into chat and we will put them up on screen. But yes, so while people are writing the questions, so the objects that you've got then in the museum, is there any objects that have got negative energy around it, or do you have
the center is split into 2? You've got the war room and the main room, which are the sort of positive areas. The main room is where the children tend to stay. But go through the back door towards the back stairs and the witch's room and the sounds room. Any items with remotely negative attachments, they go in those rooms. So we're keeping all the negative items together. In the sounds room, we've got a big arch mirror, which is really, really negative. It is most definitely a portal that allows spirits in and out.
Yeah.
And during a talking board session Saturday night, Julie's nan came through and my dad came through, and they both said that I need to beware because there's something evil that comes out the mirror.
Yeah. So
and
you need to put protection, and
well, we don't use protection, to be honest. I know Jane is always there, so if we get into any problems, Jane, there's touch wood, there's nothing that Jane's not been able to handle yet.
Yes, totally get you. See, for us, because we're not mediums, and I've got trinkets on for every different religion on my body, that I'm protected by all these different gods and goddesses and everything. Do you know what I mean? I just have to wear them all. But that's really good. Karen's got a message. Are your objects artifacts, Neil? And what have you got?
There's all sorts. I've got clowns, I've got dolls, I've got quite a few war items, because I've got a room set up as a war room. So I've got a wheelchair, I've got different helmets, I've got different paperwork and all sorts. What
would be one of your favorite artifacts, to jump in with Karen's question?
Okay, one of my favorite is the World War II wheelchair that Philip Schofield sat in. It was Featured
Wow.
on TV this morning twice. A couple of years ago now.
I can remember Philip sat in that. I remember that going on, and he actually sat in it because he was sort of like laughing and joking about it at first, but then again, that's down to Philip's beliefs and everything else. But that is that's got some right stories behind it. That and a lot of people have had experiences around
Take
that
care,
wheelchair.
Lisa.
Because I've read up on that myself. What scared you the most in the centre?
That's from Terry. I know Terry well. My most terrifying, possibly, we do live feeds. My terror is when I sat down on the back stairs on my own before we got the downstairs area. We started off on the second floor, and there was some back stairs that led down to the first floor, which we couldn't go through. And we've always had a warning that there's something negative that doesn't like me. So I did a live feed. I sat on the bottom stairs on my own, and that was quite scary.
Yeah. Well, do you think it were more scary because you knew, or was it the energies changed?
The back stairs are quite scary anyway. They're not big, but they are quite spooky.
Yeah. Bill's put the mirror.
The mirror. I don't know if there's a story behind that or not. The mirror is Bill's.
I think it means the big arch mirror, which is the portal. But we've also got a little room we call the Chamber of Fear. It's basically big enough for 1 or 2 people, and you're surrounded by mirrors.
Like is it Devil's Toy Box? Do they call them or something like that?
Yeah. We had a big mirror in there, and that got pushed down when there's no one in the room, and it got smashed.
Wow.
Amy, bless her, has pieced it all back together again.
Oh wow, that's good. That's amazing. That if she could piece that back together.
And the number of people who came in while she was pieced back together said you shouldn't do that. That should just be buried.
Yeah.
But we're a research centre. We want to know what's.
You did. That's the thing.
We want to know if something else is going to affect it.
Yeah.
So
some other energy going to jump into it. Is it going to become something?
Well,
you don't exactly. Has it released something? That's the.
Yeah, we think something came out the other mirror in the science room and pushed it.
Yeah. Wow.
Did it for a reason.
Do you know who your artifacts belong to? Are there any from the history that belongs to someone? I think I asked that earlier.
Yeah, we've got quite a few. We do know quite a lot of history on quite a few of the items.
Yeah.
We got some controversial items as well. But there's nothing we wouldn't have really, because we want to try anything.
Yeah. Do you have Annabelle? Do you have an Annabelle doll?
We have a Raggedy Ann doll, yes.
Yes, I've got a Raggedy Ann doll. Mine's called Lucy Faye. That's what I've named my Raggedy Ann doll. And we bought her from America. She's a 1960s Raggedy Ann, but there's no history of any attachments to her. She was just advertised as a Raggedy Ann. And we brought her home, and I just said to John, we'll just see whether we can get anything. So far, we've not had nothing coming from her. There's no weird things happening around house or anything like that. So to me, she's just It's just, I think it's just more to have, like you said, just to have them on show so people can recognise which dolls are which.
We get quite a lot of activity around ours. It's come from an asylum in Scotland, and it's actually got a young boy sort of attached to it.
Wow.
We know all the story. We know why he's attached to this doll. And he's a cheeky chap.
Yeah. That's amazing. But, I can't. I'm getting more excited now to come to the museum.
I don't know if you don't have to answer this one if you don't want to. Okay. Have you ever watched John Zaffis on Haunted Collector? Just wonder what you thought of his style of investigating, because he also has an haunted museum or haunted objects.
Okay. I used to watch Haunted Collector.
I would say you can say no comment if you don't want to.
No, I'll comment on everything. I will always give my honest opinion. I used to like Haunted Collector, and I used to watch all the shows, but they all tended to be the same with a little twist. But the Haunted Collector was slightly different because it was about objects.
Yes, that's what we have.
I have a lot of respect for John Zaffis. Never met him. Hopefully, I will do one day. But I think that sort of watching Haunted Collectors did sort of push me onto the haunted objects path.
Yeah. I've got to admit,
obviously, it was the TV, so it was sort of not completely 100% the way it is, because we always found an evil item, and it's not always evil.
Yes, no, it's not. That's the thing, isn't it? Some of these energies that are connected, or the hauntings of an item.
Well, you used to make me laugh, because I used to say to Lindsay, well, they have to say it's evil, because if they said at the end, we found this item and it's a lovely little girl that just plays in your living room, they wouldn't say take it out of the house and put it in your museum, would they? Say, oh no, keep it there.
Exactly.
Yes, but no, I do actually. I like John Zaffis myself. He's one I actually have watched in past, and watching him also got me not down the path of wanting to win any haunted item at all. And if I did, I'd salt it. I'd do something with it, because to me, I'm a bit nervous, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think it's. I think it's so interesting how, especially though with dolls and even like a toy, you know, like an old telephone toy that we used to have like in 70s, the like pull along one. Even a child's energy can attach to that if that were the favourite toy, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's really
my beliefs that everything you touch throughout your life, you do leave a trace of your energy behind on it.
Yeah, totally. How do you think it changed when you expanded energy-wise?
That's Terry again. Terry's one of our regulars.
Terry's got some good questions.
These aren't questions you've sent to her before.
No, the energies have changed, but we did have a couple of issues just before we went on lockdown. Somebody did come and try and spoil things for us, but we've sorted it. Jane sorted it. The energies have changed. Because we've changed the rooms around as well. Because I like mixing the room. I like changing the rooms around. I don't like them to get too comfortable. Yes, so the old tea room is now the war room. So all the war items all together. So yes, the energy has changed. The sound room has definitely got more negative than it was even then.
Wow. Yeah. So has Terry actually been and visited? Is Terry a lady that comes?
Is she one of the hags?
Is she part of the hags? No, she's not.
She's not one of the hags, but Terry is a very good medium. And
fabulous.
The way Terry works, and her husband Coops, Terry will describe the spirits that she sees at the centre, and Coops will draw them.
Wow.
So I've got lots, and the drawings are amazing, absolutely amazing. And Coops also did my sign on the outside of the building as well. So we are good friends. But some of the drawings that Coops has done from Terry's descriptions are amazing.
Wow.
What's your thoughts? I've noticed a lot of lakes. I've been looking into different things with haunted objects, and I've been looking at different haunted objects, you know, to have a look to go that way ourselves, not into a museum, just to get to a few ourselves, haunted shed. And I saw a few websites, and they reckon that the shaman, and they reckon that they can attach a spirit to an object, whether it be a teddy bear, a necklace, a ring. Do you think that's possible?
I think that's possible, because we've got 2 Nkondi figures. They've come from the Congo region of Africa, and they're basically they've been described as African voodoo. Voodoo is a bit of a wide subject, but these are Nkondi. The spirit has been attached to the items.
Right.
Wow.
So I was unsure. I didn't know whether that would just.
No, I think they can. I don't agree with it.
No, it's like these Dibbit boxes. They only turned up. You know what I mean? And it's like not an old tradition.
I think it's like, again, Zozo the Demon only turned up in '94. I think it was. Before that, there's no readings of Zozo anywhere. And as some people will say, Zuzu, which it's just bananas. Again, with Dibbit boxes. I know in one museum they have got a Dybbuk box, and it is from some far off ancient place,
Jewish.
and it is
I don't think it was actually a Dybbuk box. I think that's what they call it.
But they've got like the history with it, where it's from and everything else. And it's only a tiny box. It's behind glass, so nobody can touch it or anything like that.
I mean, that's different. Your museum, nothing's behind glass, is it?
Well, we'll talk about Dybbuk boxes first.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah.
They're a bit of a craze at the minute in the paranormal field, Dybbuk boxes. I would imagine 99.9% of them aren't genuine Dybbuk boxes. Nothing to do with the Jewish religion.
No.
The box is completely sealed in wax. I've actually got five. I've got 5 boxes sealed in wax. 4 have been given to me. 1 that I bought.
Yeah.
To be honest, the 4 that have been given to me, I've had nothing around them at all. But the one that I bought, that's really interesting. That is quite dangerous because it is completely sealed in wax. And I did a live feed on it one night, and it said the spirit. Well, I got 3 drawings of the spirit that's inside it. One that Jane drew, that she sensed was in it. One is a photo that a friend of mine was holding when she was holding the box, and her face changed. And another is a thermal picture that another friend took, and on another night, and you could actually see the face in that Jane drew. And none of these three people knew about each other's story.
Yes.
So I did a live feed on it, and it says it wanted to be put in front of the big mirror to build its energy. So I thought, it's research, let's do it. So I did. So my live feed was on a Monday night. I went back on the Saturday, and the wax on the top hadn't just cracked; it actually parted.
Wow.
Now no one had been in that room.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I'm gonna. That is under glass now. So I put it under glass dome. But since then, the wax around the outside has disappeared. It's not just falling away. It's not melted. It's not in the dome. I don't know where it's gone.
Like evaporated. Yeah.
So that is quite dangerous. And Jane says, look, we can't let people touch it now. But yeah, like you say, there's only 3 items in my centre under glass, and there's a reason for them. One is that haunted box, because there's something in that box, and we don't want it releasing yet. We will do one day.
Yeah, but that's when you're ready to do it. And again, people can come in and they'll touch things without the knowledge, and they could open that up, and anything could happen to them personally. So I totally understand and get why you do it.
Yeah.
So
another item behind glass is some old chemist bottles, and they could contain poisonous vapor.
Yeah.
So it's I don't want people to die up there, because
start sniffing poppies.
Paperwork would be horrendous, I imagine. And the third item.
You don't want to carry him down them stairs either, really, do you?
No. The third item is just a doll. It's not evil or anything. It's just out of respect to the old lady who's in spirit, whose doll it is. Yeah. Again, we did a live feed, and she asked if we could look after the doll and not let people mess about with it. So she's under glass dome. Because when people come to the centre, they can pick a doll up and walk around with it if they want to. See, and that happens quite often. So they're the only 3 items we don't let people touch. Yeah.
Neil, do you put salt around your artifacts in your museum, or is it just a myth that it's stop spirit escaping?
Okay, again, it's just my opinion. I think it's a myth. We don't put salt around the items because I don't think it's my right to contain spirits anywhere.
That's a good point.
Apart from the spirit inside that box, we don't want them moving around. So Jane's done something to that, because that one can be quite dangerous. We believe, but I've got no rights to stop a little child going out and playing.
Yeah. No. And by putting salt around them, if it does work and it does stop them.
In my experience, it doesn't stop them.
Yeah. That's good. That's really.
I think this one's
I
already
like
been
that one.
partly answered. But
Neil, do you cleanse your room or artifacts? Do any kind of protection before you let people visit and see them?
No, but if people want protection, Jane will give them protection.
Yeah.
We don't do any protection, any investigations we do, because that's what we're going for. We're going. I have got 100% faith in Jane, because I've been overshadowed twice before, and Jane's brought me back anyway. So I've got complete faith in anything that Jane can do. So I know if anything happens at the centre, Jane can handle it. If Jane says, "I'm not sure, Neil," we will back off. But
so Jane is a spiritual first aider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't just have spirit of humans there. I'm not saying I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan on demons. However,
but they are there.
There are spiritual creatures, which we do have at the centre.
Yes. And that's, but again, that's the thing though, isn't it though, Neil? People go on, like John was saying earlier, they go on these investigations and everything is, nothing's ever, it's Aunt Bessie over there in corner, or it's Jennifer who passed away when she was guardian at the cemetery or wherever. It's always, oh my God, it's the demon, it's this thing follow. And I think demon, we've said it on plenty of lives before, demon, the word demon gets thrown around too easily. And there's more negative energies than demonic, but the demonic energies are there. And if you get attached, if one attaches to you for whatever reason, then it would be very serious. You won't be doing shows on YouTube saying, I've been attacked. Or I've got
to think the word demon is just a label. And well, the devil himself was created, in my opinion, was created by the church to keep control of the masses.
We said this.
I believe that the devil is basically very similar, if you look at the description, to Pan, which is a pagan god. So I think Christianity created the devil to make Pan seem evil, so pagans, became evil.
But if Lucifer is anything like Lucifer Morningstar on telly,
we ain't got a problem.
Is my man.
Well, I think demons are label. I do think the TV show's got a lot of responsibility here.
They do,
especially the Americans. Ghost Adventures. You can go into the nicest house in the country and there'll be a demon there.
Yeah, exactly. But again, entertainment shows, they've got to have something for the
But what makes me laugh is Zach never goes and confronts it. He always sends Aaron.
I know he does.
If demon is just a label.
Yeah.
If you keep an item of jewellery of a loved one who has passed on, do you think their spirit is closer to you if you wear the jewellery? So
I think if it's a loved one, they'll be close to you anyway.
Yeah.
Whether you got that jewelry or not.
Yeah.
So if they love that jewelry, they might want to stay with that piece of jewelry.
Yeah.
I think also that jewelry could show intent that you thinking about them and you want them close to you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I've got, I can't see it very clearly. I've got my dad's wedding ring, and I wear that on a chain. I don't wear it when we go out, but I wear it on a chain. And I've got to pass that down to one of my daughters. Yeah. And I keep thinking, if I pass that down, he's not going to be with me. He's with me now. Do you know what I mean? It's mine. Yeah. I don't want to pass it down. But obviously, through hearing yourself and hearing other people, I can pass it down, because it's not going to mean by me passing it on to her, he's not going to be with me anymore. It just means I'm just passing a piece of him on to her. It is a better way to put it. Mm. Yes.
Neil, can I ask, what is a djinn? Stephen's asking.
To be honest, I don't know that much about the jinns. So
from Oklahoma.
I don't know that much about them, to be honest. I think jinns are quite evil, quite nasty.
Yeah. I know in some religions, I have done a little bit of research on jinns, not to really explain what they are. No. I know a jinn, some people call them a genie. According to some religions, I know they're supposed to be good and bad ones. But after speaking to Bill seems to think that they're all evil.
They're all bad.
I'll go with Bill on that. He knows a lot more about them than I do.
I think that's my understanding. They're evil,
Yeah.
but because we're so busy at the centre, we work on what we get at the centre.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Well,
And we
to be honest, I think you've got your hands full at that centre. It sounds of it. I'm just.
We are sent different things at different times as well. Jane and I both believe that we sent something to see if we can handle it, see if we can work with it, and once we do, they'll send us something more.
Yeah.
Like the creatures, the first spiritual creatures we work with were just like docile creatures that just crawled along the floor. But we handled him and we were happy with him. But now we got the last creature we had. He sort of hangs from the ceiling, touches people's heads.
Wow.
So they're sending us, and they got wings. So they're sending us more powerful ones. If you understand.
Yes. Do you and Jane ever work with an object before it goes into the museum? Do you ever bring any into your home, or is this somewhere that at work that you've got a special room that you take them in first before they mix with other objects? Or
normally they come to my home first, and if I don't get a bad vibe from them, I'll just take them to the centre when I go next, and Jane will work with it then. It depends, because some weeks we might have a dozen objects come in. So then it's giving Jane, and our biggest fault, I think, is finding it and making ourselves time to do enough work, because we're always so busy.
Yeah.
Especially now with the lockdown, we've not been to the centre for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I've asked Jane this. What does she think has been going on? Do you think the spirits there are missing us? And she said,
I do.
Would do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm going to do this talking board session on Saturday. I'm sending it's all to. I think the paranormal's all to do with intent.
Yes.
So with the talking board, my intent is just positive to come through.
Yeah, but couldn't you and Jane go to the museum just to do a spirit board in the cafe, or would you prefer not to? Because obviously that is your place of work, so it is a place where you and Jane can go and either do your own investigation live, or do some footage or filming, or set your cameras up to get your footage. Is that something?
Jane can't leave the house because she's got an underlying condition. So Jane is actually in isolation. So Jane can't go up there anyway.
Yeah,
she can't. Excuse me. She can't leave her house.
Yeah.
And it's just best because Jane and I work so well together. It's best if we
just stay where you are.
Do it together.
So I totally understand.
And I don't think it's right. I go by the government guidelines. Don't leave the house. I know it's my place of work.
Yeah.
But with the talking board, I can do it here.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I've got my pendulum here. If I want to do a pendulum, I can do it here. I've got my dowsing rods here, so I can do them here.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything that you can do can be done at home. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to allow any negative entity to come here.
No.
Because we live here.
Yes.
So it will only be positive.
Yeah.
Spirits that
We
come here.
First time last night we actually worked in that. I allowed the spirit boxes, and I did allow it because I've been like, no, for a year now. No, we're not using anything in the house. We don't know if anything's going to come through. But talking to other people, and with the intent that we put out and the things that we put in place before and after, when we've finished and we shut everything down and everything, I feel really confident. And last night just proved to me that we can handle that situation. But I'll be coming to Jane if I think I've got anything. If anything untoward, tell Jane. I'll be giving her a little knock, saying, "Jane, I need you."
To be honest, the strangest thing about the centre is we didn't realise this would happen. Is the number of people? There's been quite a few now. We've been open 2 years. That have come into the centre with problems.
Yeah.
And they've asked, "What should we do about this?" I think. Well, they come in, they've watched the TV, they think they've got an attachment.
Yeah.
And Jane will help them. The first one we had was a young girl came in. Well, must have been a 13, 14-year-old girl came in with her mum, and straight away Jane says she's got something latched onto her. What should we do? And I thought, I don't know. So Jane and I had a chat about it, and I said, look, we'll pull her mum to one side and ask her mum what she wants us to do.
Yeah.
So she said, yeah, can you get rid of it? It wasn't demonic or anything like that. It was just a bad energy latched onto her. And Jane says, has she been moody lately? She said, yes. And not like herself. Yeah. The following week, her mum messaged Jane and said, thank you very much. Her daughter's, it feels like she got her daughter back.
Yeah, full of life and everything. Yes. Yeah. That's amazing.
This question might have been answered earlier while I was messing about sending links to everybody, because I think I heard something about it, but I didn't hear it full. Have you ever put items in rooms and they've not got on? Do you know, in the same room, you've had to move items from one room to another? Yeah.
Yeah. For example, we put the Bible's supposed to be good. Not all Bibles have got good energy, I'll tell you now. But we have a good Bible and we have a bad Bible, and we put them together.
Wow.
Just out of interest.
And what did that?
There's so many noises going on that night. But we perhaps some people wouldn't agree with us, but that's what we do. We try and mix things up.
But that's the whole point of research. There's nobody getting hurt, nobody's getting harmed. These are just energies that don't like each other, that don't get on. But to see a reaction from two items that are close together, or even three or four, is just the research that can be done and found is phenomenal. That what you, like you said, you were experiencing more noises, or you could have seen more shadow figures, or you could have seen other different entities that were coming out around it. Do you know what I mean? And to do that kind of research, that's what the paranormal field needs more of. I think, because there's so many that go out and don't do research. They don't research the buildings. They don't do enough research on what they're doing. So to me, when it comes down to research into the because the paranormal to me is like a big rainbow. I say it all the time, because you've got that many different knit things going into subcategories. Knit thing. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So many little things going in that it's such a vast thing to do. So the research, what you yourselves do and other teams out there do, the research really is very important, especially to us investigators going out, because by watching and learning from you, we can bring that into investigations that we do and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's just a brilliant one. Terry, if spirit is there with you, talking about Ouija boards, EVPs, Alice boxes, don't make them come. It just means it's easier to communicate. Yes.
Just trying to put your mind down.
I tongue twisted myself.
All these pieces of equipment, whether they're electrical equipment, talking boards, pack of cards, anything, they're just a tool. So if the energy's already round us, then that energy would come through. If that energy's not round us, that energy wouldn't come through. Or is it possible unless we invite them? Like, for example, Saturday night, I know the Mary and the children aren't here, they're at the centre, but I'm sending out the thoughts. So I'm asking them to come Saturday down here and try and talk to us
and join. Yes, that's going to be such an exciting
one
to watch. I know.
That's paranormal.
What time are you live on Saturday with the experiment?
It's about 9 o'clock.
About 9 o'clock. Fabulous.
We shall be there.
I think I'm going to be tuning in for that one, because our live can go on hold. We're watching yours on. So I want to see
perhaps nothing will happen. I don't know.
But again, even if nothing happens, even nothing happening is a validation in itself for us, because to us, it just means that, and again, like I said, it just might not be they might not trust the board that you're using. They might not feel comfortable using that. Do you know?
Not feel talking like that.
They might not even feel in a mood to talk. They might have got face on with you for not going and seeing them. And
but what I do like, it don't bother me watching. If I watch a paranormal program or whatever, not program, because something happens on a program every time. If I watch them on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and nothing happens, for me that's great, and I'll watch them again because next time something happens, then I'm thinking, well,
why didn't it happen before?
Give more validation to me that it's probably real because they didn't fake anything last time. So, last 6 times. So,
Well, that's another good reason how Jane and I work together, because Jane will ask the spirit, what do you want to use to communicate with us?
Yeah.
So they could say thermal camera, which we've had, or they could say housing rods. They could say use a pendant. That's how perhaps that's the only way they can communicate with us.
By asking,
they're all different.
That's a really good one to ask that, because sometimes when we've even gone into shed to do I'll call them gadgets. When we've gone in shed to use gadget, or last night, I were like saying, if there's any energies around us, can you come through? I never even thought to say. I think you might have said it once. But is there any? Can you try and tell us which piece of equipment?
No, I just said it's easier to use. Easiest one. But I mean,
that's a really good one to ask.
Yeah, it is. But because we're not mediums, we can't.
No, but
contact spirit to. We have to use app to contact spirit.
That's right. Yes.
To ask it which one it wants to use.
But we have got some really good mediums, earth angels, and gifted people within our chat that pick amazing information that. Even Karen just shocked us all. We'd gone out and we were doing an investigation. I don't even know if I were there that night. I were. And we'd gone into a church in Sheffield, into a graveyard in Sheffield. And as we'd gone in, Karen picked up on a lady, and she said there was a lady. Next minute, Karen gave this lady's full name, certain information about her. Now, the registrar where all the deaths are on, yourself, if you look at a cemetery, it's like a long list of everything, isn't it? And Karen pinpointed this lady's grave. We couldn't find it, but it wasn't far. The plot wasn't far from where we was actually. And it were like, your mouth dropped open. It were like, Karen, where did that come from? And she's like, it just come. But amazing. I think what people can put chat as well is absolutely amazing.
I know. I always say to all the teams and individuals that come to the center, anything, no matter how silly you think it's the sound, say. Because if name comes into your head, for example, if John comes into your head, if you're the only person that says the name John, that could be your imagination. But then when it comes to 5, 10 people saying the name John's just coming to my head, that's getting a bit more interesting then. And that's where the research really comes in, because there's a good chance that there's a spirit named John there.
It's funny because on some on our devices, names are coming through really. John's name comes through quite a lot. Mine's just started coming through on odd time, but John's name does seem to come through when he asks us questions. And we've got one that's with us, and apparently his name's Tom or Tommy, and he's something to do with John's spirit guide, but that's not his name. That's what he just goes by, if you know what I mean. But he was not given his real name at the minute. So, but I just find everything just so fascinating. It's like. Yeah, I could talk all night. Even if there were nobody on, I could continue talking all night.
She probably will end up talking all night.
I won't. So has anybody else got any more questions? Because we have been on now 1 hour, 23 minutes.
Anybody else got any questions for Neil?
Have you got any questions, Neil? Have you got any questions you'd like to ask, or to ask anybody in chat?
No, don't think so.
And this time with the lady at Mystique's place, Terry Coops. Thank you. Terry will do that. Bonnie and Terry's arranging something sneaky in chat here. We're going to have to keep an eye on them too.
Bill's still putting history at Gins.
I know he is. Bill's still putting all history at Gins in chat.
I can imagine.
Well, thank you so much, Neil, for joining us and sharing this amazing information. Looking so forward to visiting yourselves
and meeting you both.
Yes,
once
at the museum and coming out for stretching his legs and coming out for a drive and coming in, and also looking into the museum. Definitely looking forward to the book coming out. Can't wait to see what you've got cooked up coming for November that we can't talk about.
Yeah.
Can't wait for the Para meet next year, and I can't wait for Saturday night to see what.
Is that going to be on the H.A.P.R.C live feeds?
It'll be on the main page and all my other pages. So any page that, and on my personal page as well. So it's on all my pages.
Yes. Right. Well, it's a big thank you from us for joining us. Really enjoyed. Thank you. It's amazing chatting with Neil and everyone tonight. Thank you, Neil. Your museum sounds fab. Thank you, Neil. So everybody's coming through with the thank yous. Brilliant night. It has been a brilliant night. And thank you so much. So one last shout out for Neil, where we can find your Facebook, and it's
H.A.P.R.C. The Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre in Hinckley. And that is on Facebook. They also have their own website, whatever you want to call them.
Yes. Website.
Please, guys.
Is there a link? Have we shared link for website?
If you put H.A.P.R.C. up,
it comes up automatically.
Anyway, right. Well, I'll put a link in description after. Anyway,
thank you.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Neil, and look forward to talking to you again. Definitely, we'll arrange another chit chat to talk about other things or whatever. If there's anything you'd like to talk about again, and brilliant. But thank you so much. If you want to just stop there a minute, Neil, and we're going to say good night to everybody in chat. Thank you for joining. Sweet dreams.
Care, guys.
Take care across the water.
Bye.